So, in a substantial geopolitical shift, Armenia has announced its intention to leave the Collective Security Treaty Organization, or CSTO, which is a Russian led military alliance that is basically the Wish version of NATO. This decision stems from growing tensions between Armenia and Russia, coupled with Armenia's dissatisfaction with the CSTO's response to border clashes with Azerbaijan in 2021 and 2022. Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan has openly criticized the CSTO for failing to meet its obligations, accusing some members of siding with Azerbaijan. While an exact date for Armenia's withdrawal has not been specified, Pashinyan indicated that the decision will be made at an appropriate time. Armenia borders Turkey, Georgia, Azerbaijan, and Iran, so a potential shift away from Russia here is significant for that region. The remaining members of the CSTO that would, I guess, take on the 32-nation alliance that is NATO include, of course, Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. When you combine all of them together, their collective GDP is $1.4 trillion smaller than California's. What makes this worse for Russia is, in tandem with this move, Armenia is looking to enhance its relationship with the United States. The Armenian Foreign Ministry announced that the relations between Armenia and the U.S. will be elevated to the level of, quote, strategic partnership. Now, this declaration followed the second session of the Armenia-U.S. Strategic Dialogue held in Yerevan and is marking a noteworthy shift in Armenia's foreign policy away from its traditional reliance on Russia and towards a closer partnership with the West, specifically the United States. Now, Armenia's decision to leave the CSTO has several negative implications for Russia. There's a loss of influence. Armenia's departure weakens Russia's influence in the South Caucasus region, and it undermines a key tool for Moscow to project power and maintain its sphere of influence in its former Soviet states. There's also security concerns. The withdrawal could increase security risks and undermine credibility for Russia, as the CSTO's purpose of ensuring collective security among its members may be compromised. This country acted as a buffer between Russia and Turkey, which is a NATO member, and now it's no longer going to be a CSTO member on the side of Russia. There's an economic impact here. Armenia is a significant market for the sale of Russian goods and services. Its departure could deteriorate economic ties between the two countries, impacting Russia's economy. That is especially the case if Armenia does pivot to purchasing more westernized goods. There's also a strategic realignment here that Russia has to be concerned about. Armenia's pivot towards the West could lead to a strategic changing of the guard, so to speak, in the Caucasus, shifting the alliances and partnerships away from Russia and towards the United States. And then there's also the internal pressures that the departure of Armenia may cause within the Kremlin. It increases domestic pressure on Russia's government from nationalists and hardliners that view this as a sign of Russia's declining power and influence. So Putin may have to do something, and that something likely is not going to bode well for the average Russian, because it might include some sort of use of force. And that is because there's just reputational damage here. Armenia's decision reflects dissatisfaction with the CSTO and Russia's leadership, which could encourage other member states to question their commitment to the organization, possibly leading to further withdrawals themselves. Both Kazakhstan and Tajikistan have previously expressed reservations about the future of the CSTO. Now, adding to the embarrassment of Russia and really the embarrassment of Vladimir Putin, Armenia is the first country to leave the alliance in its 32-year history. No country has left NATO ever, and this comes after NATO has recently grown by 2 members. Now, Russia has not officially responded to Armenia's decision here. One thing is for sure: Putin is just a terrible strategist. While NATO gains 2 countries, Russia loses 1 in their alliance. One thing Armenia needs to understand, though, is they should probably prepare for a future Russian special military operation based on made-up premises, because Putin is going to throw a tantrum about this.